In the British comedy show Dad's Army, one of the recurring characters, Corporal Jones, in many of the episodes, in response to some crisis facing the platoon of Home Guard, rushes about, waving his arms in the air, going, "Don't panic, don't panic." And it's a hilarious example of the gap between splendid theory and actual practice that we as humans are always a bit prone to. And "don't panic" is also the advice emblazoned on the front cover of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think we all know it's often quite good advice. And looking back on my life, I wish I could have practiced not panicking a few more times in my life. I think many of the worst decisions I ever made were made in a state of panic. But how do we get better at the practice rather than this fancy theory of not panicking? I think for me, one of the ways that has helped me a lot over the years has been improv, learning the techniques of improv theatre, and in particular the warm-up activities that improv players use. Now, when I mention improv, it often sets off the expectation that improv is about being fast and clever and frightfully witty. And that generates a lot of performance anxiety for people, which is a shame because, of course, performance anxiety is a kind of panic. And it's the kind of panic we want to find ways to manage a bit more carefully so that we can perhaps take that anxiety and channel it more productively. And it's something that I need to do in my work of facilitation. In fact, I've said before that I think facilitation actually is not really about making difficult things easy. I think that's mistaken. I think it's about bringing a sense of ease to difficult things. And when I'm on site in my job as a facilitator, I think it's an important skill when confronted with something unexpected, not to rush about in a panic, but to be able to sit there with a sense of ease, to perhaps sit with an awkward silence a little bit longer and not rush to fill it, but in a way exude a certain kind of confidence that this is okay and we can manage it. And this is one of the things that we will be practicing and exploring in my 2-day workshop back here in Cambridge, back here in September. Trying to use improv as a way to improve our responsiveness to the audience, our ability to sit with anxiety more comfortably and channel it more creatively. If you'd like to know more, please do get in touch.